From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keit Alan.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keit Alan and proudly welcoming you into this Thursday, September the 21st, 2017's edition of For the People. Appreciate you making us part of your day. Today I have reflected on 3 years, more or less here, that I have taken to the control board here and to the microphone of For the People, and I have to say it's mostly been a fun ride. As many of you know, I do this on a shoestring, and that shoestring has broken several times. Now, I want to thank anyone that has ever given to our program. You're the reason why I put my heart and soul into this broadcast. Now, I'm feeling a little discouraged today, and I want to share with you just why. I'm not a guy who likes to feel sorry for himself. I rather find a way to make something work. Now, with that said, I started a raffle to help raise a little money for our program. And the tickets may be a little pricey, but we're trying to raise $5,000. Tickets are $25, and we haven't sold one. Now, we have had a few donations. I think what did we raise? $125 from some of my friends that know me here in the Bay Area. But other than that, nothing. Well, I thought that winning $200 would be fun and give you something to motivate you to give, but nada. Now, I'm open to any suggestions that you might have. Now, I'm going to check my email to see if you had any suggestions, either on Facebook or email after the show. And if there's any angles or anybody that has a better suggestion, that would be fine. But right now, what I'm looking for specifically, you want to know? I'm looking for a few angels that might be out there today listening and feel led to give to what they believe to be a noble endeavor, which I believe is. You can give at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. But I got to tell you, we do have some of the most loyal listeners in the country. And I feel honored to be able to serve you with a quality broadcast each day. So I don't want to, have a pity party here and feel too sorry. But I do have to be transparent occasionally. I mean, when we talk about that shoe spring breaking, or it's broke. We're broke. I'd like to say that we have coffers and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, and we don't. But we're optimistic. But I felt a little discouraged. Do you ever feel that way, where it's conflicting? You're back and forth. Well, we're just having such a week like that here. And again, Sharathon is something that it's a concept that substations have used. This is the first time that we've used that language. But really, I think it's good language because really it is a show. It's a particular mainstay in many people's homes through the years for the people. And I've just taken it over just 3 years ago. And it's been a building process. But, folks, we're on a number of radio stations now, and we started out 3 years ago just as a podcast. So we're on, over 5 radio stations and growing, and we're getting ready to put a big ad out in a national radio publication that's going to cost over $1,000 to do, but it'll be well worth it. But that's why we're raising money, to be able to further the show. And the bottom line is, you've been able to share with your local radio station. We've got on some stations that way that you've shared with management. That's how we got on, or we've made calls with affiliate relations people. But it's something that we need to continue advertising, continue doing great programs every single day to be able to attract more stations. But it's going to take help, and this is 100% listener supported. We do run a commercial for Ready 123 TV, and we make a few cents off that. But it's something that I love and like, and it's worthwhile. But we make a few cents off the app per purchase, but we're not making very much. I think we've made maybe $16. Is it more? Is it $35? Okay, we've been running that for like 6 months. Okay. It's not a whole lot per that. I think it's maybe less than $1. Yeah, per sale. But that's okay. It's something. And we believe in the product. And maybe eventually we'll have something more impressive than that. But in the meantime, we do have an opportunity for you to buy a raffle ticket today. And maybe you haven't bought the ticket. But let me encourage you that if you buy the ticket, your money will be used wisely. I will be sure to utilize it in the best way possible and to make sure that we get into the right publications with follow-up. That's important. And I have some key people that are directing me. Now, we have had meetings, believe it or not, with some syndicators out of New York that really like what we do, but want to kind of give up the whole For the People thing. Meaning the legacy, everything that Chuck did, they just want to use my name. And, they want to take control of the show. Now, I've worked for other media outlets, and you go through their filter. When I worked for Salem Communications, and they're a great company, don't get me wrong, but you went through something that they would call the Salem filter. And you'd sit down, in this case, with the general manager. And I won't mention his name, but he's very successful at Salem. He works for corporate now. And he worked at the Tampa property that I worked out of for a while. And he had to run through all the stuff, and if he didn't like it, you wouldn't be on the air. And that's the way it is with a lot of corporate broadcasters. And I just couldn't sign a contract, and I'm glad I talked to Sam Bushman about it, who has been great putting us on Liberty News Network. Great. Liberty Roundtables. You might listen to it on this radio station. But anyhow, he told me, don't do it. Because if you sign it, you're kind of signing your soul away. And he's a Christian. But I took his wise advice. He's a great guy. And some people would say, you should have just taken the money and ran. Chuck Harder was given that opportunity with TalkNet and with another radio network. And I think for a very short window, he moved to New York City. He hated it. He gave it up so quick it wasn't even funny. It just wasn't him. And he didn't feel like he was serving the listeners. And so that's why I did turn down that opportunity with this national syndicator, because they would have it just wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have the same feeling. And to be honest with you, my heart wouldn't have been in it. You ever work with somebody and they're just kind of going through the motions? It's kind of like a bad relationship. They're kind of just going through the throes, just going through the emotions of doing it. And it's just, it's not passionate. It's not loving. It's not romantic. It's got to be that way for me, or I'm just not going to do it. And I don't expect anybody, unless you are passionate about what I'm doing, to give. And if you're not, then don't. And it's not manipulation. I had put out a thread on my Facebook today, and I got hundreds and hundreds of people that follow. And I said, do you listen to For the People? And if you listen to it, you don't just listen to, you can listen to a lot of things. If you spend hours listening or just an hour a day, or you listen to the full 2 hours, that's a big chunk of your life. If it resonates with you, you dig it, you like it, I'm just asking you to please help me to support the broadcast. And if you're already a supporter, I'm not talking to you. Thank you for already doing it. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, I'm not stopping you. And yes, was asked, can you buy more than one ticket? Yes, if you do, thank you. We'll put 2 tickets in for you, or 3 tickets, because your chances of winning would be a lot more. But we're just trying to make it fun with a raffle ticket, okay? But somebody's going to win $200. But we got to get the money in the coffers to be able to do that. So we got to start going to do this, okay? And keeps costs down to a minimal anyways. Now, we're going to have some door prizes. We're going to be giving away a For The People mug and some other secondary, third prizes that you will like, that you will have fun. I think we still have an autographed book of Chuck's, his latest book, Will We Ever Learn? It's autographed by the granddaddy. You know, by the way, somebody told me the other day, and I did not realize this, for any Chuck follower or For The People, longtime listener of For The People, Mark Levin, he's pretty national now. But he used to be on Chuck's show before anybody even knew who Mark Levin was. He's working out of Washington, obviously. But Chuck gave the platform to so many people that actually started their careers. So this broadcast steeped in great tradition. And I got to tell you, it's I have to pinch myself once in a while. I'm saying, I can't believe I'm listening to this jingle music. I can't believe I'm on the microphone and was given this great opportunity. But Chuck, he gave me a great opportunity at his network in my early 20s to host a broadcast called Cyber Talk Radio when the internet was just coming out, and Al Gore took credit for the internet. Remember that? We were on, close to 1,000 stations next to Kim Commando when she was doing her show. And then I sat in for a lot of talk show hosts across the country. Mike Siegel, out of Seattle, sat in for him. Art Bell sat in for him. Just so many opportunities opened up, and it was just cool to be able to do that. But thanks to Chuck, he started and launched my talk career. Now, I did another talk show before I met Chuck in Memphis, Tennessee for Bot Radio Network, and that was a great experience, a conservative Christian radio show. It was like 2 or 3 hours every day. And I resigned because I got an offer from the People's Radio Network to become the production director, with the idea in mind that I wanted to host my own show. And so it just worked out. Unfortunately, I lost my dad 3 months after taking the position. My dad was the president of the network, and he left New York City, and I left Memphis at the time when I was working for Bot Radio Network to spend time with my dad. How cool. I mean, he was the reason why I was able to work at WMCA, starting out, as I tell a story, sweeping floors, making coffee, and erasing tapes, and doing interviews, and screening calls and stuff with the mayor and all the bigwigs there at WMCA at the time. It was, if not the number one station in New York. Good Guy Radio. It was pretty big. Strausses owned it. They were great people. They were great to my dad. They were terrific. Really loved the whole experience there, working when they had their station on 57th and 7th Avenue, right down from Columbus Circle. I hope to God they keep Columbus Circle. I mean, can you imagine them changing it? It would just be awful. I hope they don't. But anyway, folks, just wanted to share with you a little bit. But this means something to so many people. And new people come across the broadcast, and this is the first time that they've heard it. They never knew who Chuck was. But then I think about the millions of people that actually did tune in, and we have the possibility of attracting those folks, but if they only knew that we were on the air. So that's why these publications are really important with PR and public relations, and for the people that do what they do, social media, using that to our advantage. But you have to spend money.